Offwhyte cinematic. This is Offwhyte cinematic. Yo, you got to have it, it's cinematic. Yo, this is Offwhyte cinematic. Yo, you got to have it, it's cinematic. Yo, this is Offwhyte cinematic. Yo, you got to have it, it's cinematic. Ha, this is Offwhyte cinematic. Yo, you got to have it, ha. As I just charge through the wall, as I just hit you like a fireball. I got the natural selection when I'm just giving you this direction. I'm like a living vector when I'm just telling you about the sector. I'm just running through your neighborhood, through your area, here to get ya. I'm just running through the postal code when I'm in freak mode. And I just light up like a diode when I'm here to just reverberate and indicate that it's going down when I'm just here to put down my sound. So it's like welcome to the Terror Dome, Mr. O Double just giving you a new home. Put you in section 8, yo, make you contemplate as I just gravitate and revolve to elevate. That's how I'm bringing all sorts of physics, and I just do it like a mystic when I'm just reading the future. Yeah, cause I suit ya when I'm just living for humanity. I'm just putting it down for the principality, and I freak it all over like I'm the living abnormality. Yeah, the exception to the rule. That's how I'm always playing it cool when I just go to school. Mentally, I'm talking physically, I just bring the abomination. That's how I'm just bringing domination to every single type of communication. Just rep the community when I'm just doing, I stand for unity. Yeah, it's all for unison when I'm just putting it down for the confusion. That's how I'm just computing when I'm just doing what I got to do when I'm boosting all the way out to the stratus. And I just update my status, let you know I'm always the baddest. Put it down on the MIC as I just represent the Springfield city, Midwest, so fresh. And that's how we just bring the special guest. Just do it on the solo, just keep it on the low. In other words, it's secretive as I'm just giving you my perspective. What's up, everyone? Yours truly, Offwhyte here. Welcome to Offwhyte Cinematic Season 2, Episode 8. And today we will be discussing my movie collection. Thank you very much for joining us. Have a seat. Don't worry about anything. Kick your feet up. We're gonna do this.
Thank you to everyone for joining us. Shoutouts to the Offwhyte cinematic dancer, Ray Dawn. Follow her on Instagram at RayDawn1300. And if you would like to be featured dancing while I freestyle during my intro, please be 18 years or over and send me an email at ryan@menugem.com. And another reminder, we are still doing the Offwhyte buy one get one free special, and the way that works is if you purchase a release at any of these record stores and email me the receipt, ryan@menugem.com, we'll send you a free Offwhyte release of your choice. And the record stores are Vintage Vinyl in St. Louis, Amoeba Music in Berkeley, California, and Amoeba Music in LA. I would definitely consider myself a fan of the cinema. My own video series, Offwhyte Cinematic, is named after the medium. My entire family loves movies. I remember my parents talking about going to see such classics as The Godfather and Rocky in the cinema. Additionally, my family has always been into the superhero genre of movies. I remember that we all enjoyed Superman the movie and Superman 2, and we still go to see superhero movies together today. I enjoy pretty much all genres of movies. The first movie theater I remember going to was in Normal, Illinois. In the 1980s, the two major malls in the area were Eastland Mall, which is still in operation today, and College Hills Mall, which is in operation today as the Shops at College Hills. I honestly can't remember in which mall the theater was located, but I do remember it having a water fountain in front. I don't recall the first movie I saw in the theater, but the first movie I saw more than once in the theater was Return of the Jedi. Since we lived in Normal, Illinois, we were near Illinois State University and Wesleyan University, and these colleges would hold screenings of some of the more artsy films available at the time. I remember seeing the Mozart biopic, Amadeus, and Disney's Fantasia at these types of screenings. Additionally, my family always subscribed to HBO, so I had access to HBO content from a young age. After my parents would go to sleep, I would turn on HBO and catch sci-fi classics such as Scanners and The Last Starfighter. My family and I were also big patrons of the video store. I remember renting Reservoir Dogs from the video store and watching it by myself. It was very influential to me. When I was a sophomore and junior in high school, I worked at a movie theater here in Springfield, Illinois, called Carasotas Theater's Parkway Point 8. This was during the early 1990s, and at the time of its opening, it was the newest theater in town. The theater is now owned by AMC and is known as AMC Classic Parkway Point 8. When it opened, I was featured on television on the local news channel as an usher there. Parkway Point 8 is still there and in operation today. It has humongous screens. I remember seeing Pulp Fiction there. Watching that film for the first time was also a very influential experience for me. As I said, I would definitely consider myself a devoted moviegoer with knowledge about the cinema. It is a very special medium. And I believe that video is truly the canvas of our time. Cinema is so special because it is barely 100 years old. We are at a unique point in time because there are people alive today who remember seeing the birth of the medium, and we are at a point in time when we are able to study and preserve its entire history. I remember my dad specifically being able to recall when he saw television and then color television for the first time. My appreciation for filmmaking really took off after I moved to LA, where I learned to make music videos. I learned to make music videos from a friend of mine named Mark, who owned a record store called Soul Sounds, located in downtown LA, across the street from Staples Center. This was in 2006. Soul Sounds is no longer there, but in his record store, Mark explained to me the basics of how to put a music video together, and he even recommended my first video camera, a Canon Vixia. Through working with people in LA, I gained such experience as working with a cast and conveying my ideas to others. I learned about storyboards, shot lists, setups, and blocking. I have been making music videos for 10 years now. And before we get into my collection, I just want to mention some of my favorite places where I have been to watch movies. When I was a college student in Chicago in the 1990s, I would attend midnight screenings at the Village Theater on Clark Street. The Village Theater is gone now, but the terracotta facade was saved and is being reassembled to become the front entrance of a condominium complex, 1550 On the Park Condos at 1550 North Clark Street. At the midnight screenings at the Village Theater, I remember seeing such films as The City of Lost Children and Killing Zoe. While living in Chicago, I also enjoyed going to Landmark's Century Center Cinema on Clark Street and Century 12 in Evanston. When I lived in LA, I enjoyed seeing films at the ArcLight, most notably at the ArcLight in Hollywood. I love how the ushers there stand at the front of the theater and address the audience. They personally introduce the movie and tell you some fun facts about the film. So, without any further ado, let's get to it. My movie collection. Alright, let's go ahead and get into it. These will be presented in alphabetical order. 12 Monkeys DVD. Great sci-fi movie. 25th Hour DVD. And there's Ed Norton. And I'm a big Spike Lee fan. I saw Spike Lee speak at my grad school at University of Southern California. He freestyled the whole speech, and it was a good time. This is a Blu-ray, 28 Days Later and 28 Weeks Later, double feature. And I like zombie movies as much as anyone. I do like the zombie genre. But I did notice something when I picked this up. These films were released at a time, they were made and released at a time when digital video was in its birth. And I don't think these movies have aged well as far as the video quality. In particular, this one. I think this one is generally high quality, but the picture quality in 28 Days Later, it looks like digital video from the early days, which is not that great. But I'm a fan of these films. Amadeus, Director's Cut, 2-disc DVD set. So, there's some good packaging here. Good biopic. Amelie, 2-disc DVD collector's edition. And I am a big fan of this movie. There's the inside. And so much of this movie is shot on location in Paris, and all the scenes shot on location look great. Apocalypse Now redo on DVD. Apocalypto with the slipcover. I saw this movie in the theater and I was completely blown away. I saw it with my girlfriend at the time, who was Native American, and she thought it was corny, but we both agreed it was a great film. And Mel Gibson, although he has kind of a record of incidents, he's a talented filmmaker, and he knows how to put a story on screen. Apollo 13 on Blu-ray. Appaloosa on DVD. Ed Harris movie, Western. Argo on Blu-ray. Avengers Age of Ultron on Blu-ray. And I'm a big fan of embossing, and this title is slightly embossed there. But this also has the slipcover. Avengers Age of Ultron DVD. Avengers Infinity War. And this embossing is serious business on this one. Everything on the cover is embossed. It's really dope. Look at that embossing. Woo! So I'm a big fan of Avengers Infinity War. I like it better than Avengers Endgame. I think Infinity War is a better paced movie. This is a 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray, also with a digital copy. And when I saw Infinity War in the theater, I tweeted to Marvel Studios as I was leaving the cinema, and they liked the tweet right away. But in comparison, I felt that Avengers Endgame was a slower paced movie, and it wasn't really for me. I know it broke all kinds of box office records, but I prefer this one, the first part of the story. Back to the Future Trilogy, 25th Anniversary DVD Collector's Set. And this is cool because I purchased this before Blu-rays were really out on the mass market. First of all, look at this Back to the Future logo. Whew! That's embossed. That's all embossed right there. But this is a DVD set that includes digital copies. And the digital copies are still in my movies library today. Which is pretty cool. So this is the kind of fold out of the opening flap, the packaging. But yes, as we get into this set, you'll see that what I'm getting at is the digital copies for these actually came on discs. So here's the digital copy. This is a card that contained the digital copy, but then also each movie has its own DVD and digital copy, as you can see here, digital copy disc. So we'll take a look at all these. This edition here has beautiful poster art behind these discs, so we'll get into those. But before I show you that, this is what I'm talking about. So this is Back to the Future, and first we have the DVD with the movie that you could pop into your DVD player, but then here is the actual disc for the digital copy, and they would have you pop this into your CD drive and drag and drop the digital file to your computer, which obviously nowadays you just sign into your preferred service and your movie is in the cloud, but that's how they used to do it, or that's how they did it for a brief period of time. And then here's some of the poster art behind the discs. So this is really great artwork here, and we'll show the rest. Really nice. And yeah, I was a big fan of these movies just by nature of my generation growing up. I'm a fan of the Back to the Future trilogy. I do think there are some conventions in Hollywood from these older movies in the 80s that just kind of wouldn't fly today. If you watch any movie from the 80s now, a lot of that material is kind of cringeworthy. The way certain just the way certain characters are written and the way certain situations are treated. I don't think a lot of it would fly today. And I'm not saying anything bad about the Back to the Future trilogy. I think that rings true for a lot of movies from the 80s. But anyway, this cover art is really fresh. And this set does come with this bonus disc, and that's got a lot of the featurettes on there. So anyway, I was just touching upon the fact that I think Hollywood and storytelling in Hollywood is changing for the better, because with the advent of social media, you kind of have people that are holding these Hollywood studios accountable for what they're putting out there, and people are demanding that certain characters are represented in a more realistic way. So a lot of filmmaking and storytelling in Hollywood has progressed, and I think that's great. I mean, back in the day, in the 80s and earlier, Hollywood had more sway because it had more of the attention of the mass market. There weren't these other video platforms out. But anyway, I think this is a great representation of the 80s, and I'm a big fan of the Back to the Future trilogy. Batman Begins, and if you are a fan of my channel, please check out my Batman Begins music video and narration video. This is directed by Christopher Nolan, and this is the 2-disc DVD's collector's edition. But yeah, I'm a big fan of the Nolan Batman films, and this is The Dark Knight. So this is the 2-disc collector's edition as well, with the slipcover. And I also have a music video and narration for The Dark Knight as well. So with Batman Begins and The Dark Knight, I've got music videos where I approximate the film, give my interpretation of the film, and then I go through a breakdown of each of these. So Batman Begins and The Dark Knight. Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. Target exclusive digibook, lenticular cover. There's Superman, there's Batman. Batman v Superman. And I actually have doubles of this. And both of them are still factory sealed. I'm a big fan of this movie, and I know a lot of people make fun of this movie and don't like it, and that's fine, but I love it. I think it's very well lit. I think the casting is great. I think Ben Affleck, Henry Cavill, and Gal Gadot make a great trinity of Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman. And the scenes with Gal Gadot in this movie are some of her best acting work. But spoilers for anyone who hasn't seen this or wants to see it. The scene that everyone makes fun of in this movie involves the fact that Superman's mother is named Martha, and Batman's mother is also named Martha. And people make fun of that, and that is kind of laughable. But if you take that out, the rest of the movie is very well done. The fight between Batman and Superman is straight out of the Justice League comics, and it's fresh. It's portrayed very well on screen. As I said, I think Ben Affleck portrays the Batman character very well. And Henry Cavill is a great Superman, I think. But I think this movie is too heavily criticized. I prefer the Ultimate Edition, which is the longer cut. There's a top there. The value of these has actually gone up to more than double. And yeah, I love this movie. BVS. Next we have the Beverly Hills Cop trilogy on DVD. The Birds on Blu-ray. And I'm a big Alfred Hitchcock fan. And this movie is special because Tippi Hedren is just absolutely gorgeous in this film. And I've been meaning to send away to get her autograph. And this is the pop art version of the Blu-ray. Black Swan DVD. And I think Natalie Portman is great in this film. Another Best Picture winner. So, Black Swan. Blue, White, and Red. The Three Colors Trilogy. And this is a Criterion Collection release. And these are DVDs. So these are French films from the 90s. And really it's all about Red. Red is just a classic. So this is my favorite of the three. And as I said, the Criterion Collection has done their thing with this. And there's a bonus disc with the director. So these films are all in French, and they do interconnect. The stories loosely interconnect. Red is the best, and then I like Blue second. And probably like White the least. There's nothing back there. So there's Blue, and then here's White. And I used to try to practice my French watching these. But here's the book, there's the director. And I gotta admit the packaging is pretty ill. So there's a shot from Red. Red is pretty ill. They're films from the 90s, so it's kind of like 90s sensibilities, but yeah. I enjoyed these enough to purchase it. Blue, White, and Red. Boiler Room on DVD, and this has some great acting. So, yeah, if you haven't seen this, it's an entertaining film. Boiler Room. The Breakfast Club on DVD. And being the age that I am, this movie is kind of, you know, milestone in pop culture. And if you don't know, you should check it out. Captain America, the Winter Soldier. This is another one of those Color Splash MCU releases, and the title is embossed. I don't think these are like super hot graphic design or anything, but I do like the way they're all uniform. And I have a couple of the films in this format that we'll get to. And then this is the slipcase. It's pretty dope. Castaway on Blu-ray. This is also with the slipcase. Of course, the slipcase cover is Wilson, and then inside is the standard Blu-ray. But this is dope. I mean, of course, you know, people should know about this movie. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon on DVD. I purchased this from Reckless Records way back in the day. Alright. Now, this is one of my favorite films. And a lot of people might make fun of this new school Kung Fu style because they fly around in this movie. But the Kung Fu choreography in this film is top notch. And the sets where they film are very beautiful. The Imperial Chinese, you know, city, and oh, it's just the greatest. I saw this movie opening weekend in downtown San Francisco, and I'll never forget it. I saw it with my girlfriend at the time, and it was just a shot to the dome. So, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. On Blu-ray, Dazed and Confused. And Dead Man on DVD. Now, Criterion Collection just picked this up, so this has gotten a fresh re-release. So good for the Criterion Collection. This is my copy, and this is like kind of standard DVD, but whatever the case, this is a great movie. Deep Cover, one of my favorites from the 90s. And this is the clasp case, DVD case. So it opens up like this, which is kind of cool. So you have the cover art right there on the package, and then there's the disc. So, deep cover. The Departed, 2-disc DVD special edition. And this is when Martin Scorsese won his first Oscar, and I'm a big Martin Scorsese fan, so yeah. Departed. Die Hard, and this is slim case DVD. Great film. And this is my copy of Doctor Strange. So, I wasn't going to purchase this, but after I saw the movie, I was really compelled to own it. And this has the 3D Blu-ray, the DVD, and the download. So first of all, it has the slipcase. So I'm a big slipcase fan, and then it has this very cool lenticular of Doctor Strange. So it's just kind of a card, a very cool lenticular card. I'm happy to have that. And then here's the Blu-ray. Blu-ray, 3D Blu-ray, and DVD behind there. And then the cover art on the back has the kind of perspective of different angles. You have to turn it around. So some of the credits are right side up, but as you can see, those are upside down, and then these are definitely upside down. kind of trippy. Just like the movie. And also Storer, parkour crew Storer, does stunts in this film, which is pretty cool. Doctor Strange. Donnie Brasco on DVD, extended cut. Edward Scissorhands on DVD, 10th anniversary edition. And great film. Got a little artwork here, and got my girl Winona. And there's nothing wrong with the camera. That image is really blurry like that. I don't know why that is. Actually, is there anything else in here? Let me see. Ah, yes. Kind of cool. I saw a great Tim Burton exhibit at the LA County Museum of Art. And I saw the Edward Scissorhands costume in person. It was nice. Great exhibit. Forrest Gump on DVD, special collector's edition. When I worked at the University of Southern California, my office was just outside the location where they shot the scene where Forrest and Jenny argue in the rain. Friday Night Lights. This was an Amoeba purchase. DVD. A Ghost Story. With this slipcase. This is a great film. It says a whole lot, and there are some techniques used here that I've never seen in any other movie, and the ideas introduced here that I've never seen. Very cool. I'm a fan of A24. That studio. Ghostbusters 1 and 2 on DVD. And this packaging is very cool because it's, well, you've got the kind of foil on the outside here, and then the logo was embossed. But this is a DVD set, and comes with this book, but here are the movies. And you got the ectoplasm. And here's the book. And going along with what I said about the 80s, there is definitely some dialogue in this movie that wouldn't fly today. But I'm a Ghostbusters fan. And I like how they put the storyboards in here, along with the scenes they correspond to. Sigourney Weaver kills it in this movie. There's the Stay Puft advertisement. And one of my favorite films, Goodfellas, on Blu-ray and digital. And this is the 25th anniversary edition. And it's a great package, except that I wish Joe Pesci was on the cover. Joe Pesci did win an Oscar for his role in this film. So I don't know why they didn't put him on the 25th anniversary edition cover. But, yeah, it's still Goodfellas. It's a digital copy, and oh, there's this nice letter from Martin Scorsese here, thanking you for your purchase. And here are the discs. So I love this movie, and it is very influential to me. It's yeah. I know the lesson is that crime doesn't pay, but the movie really amps up the lifestyle of a criminal. So there are a lot of techniques employed in this film that are used in many other films. And yeah, Scorsese, he was definitely a visionary when it comes to storytelling. And he still is. So, they're Goodfellas. Guardians of the Galaxy. And keeping in line with my, well, first of all, this has the slipcase, but keeping in line with my comic book collecting habits, I've kept one copy sealed, and I've got a copy to play. So, Guardians of the Galaxy, I got doubles of the slipcase as well, and this is the one I play. I just love this movie because James Gunn's use of music in this film, it's very effective. There's the embossing there. So, Guardians of the Galaxy. Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle on DVD. This is a funny movie. Well done. Extreme unrated edition. Shouts to Bobby Lee and his brother Kwang. And this is my copy of Heat. This is the 2-disc special edition DVD. And this is another of my favorite movies. The way Los Angeles is depicted here is it's kind of the way that I see the city as well. LA is kind of an enclave for a lot of different scenes. I lived in LA for 11 years, and I'm not trying to to sound hardcore or anything, but the criminal activity is kind of on a different level in LA. For example, car chases on the freeway are kind of a common occurrence. It's a regular thing to see car chases on the news. And the freeway system there in Los Angeles is so massive that there is actually a realistic chance of of someone getting away in a car chase. I recall seeing one car chase on the news that ended in Long Beach, and 2 of the 3 people in the car were able to jump out and get away. But again, I don't mean to take a certain stand on anything, but all I'm saying is that this movie and its perspective of Los Angeles as an urban environment is pretty spot on. In LA, you have all these little pockets of activity, and there are certain scenes in this film that really depict it in a very realistic way. And there is a scene, well, the opening scene is kind of this robbery of a armored vehicle. And Al Pacino's character, the policeman, comes to inspect the scene of the opening crime of the opening scene. And when Pacino does do his analysis of the crime, they're standing along the 110 expressway. And they're also standing near the 10 expressway. And that is walking distance from where I lived in Los Angeles, that scene. I believe that neighborhood is a neighborhood called Figueroa Corridor, and it's next to University Park where I lived. But yes, Heat, excellent film, excellent storytelling. The cinematography is top-notch. They show LA in not your stereotypical sort of perspective. They don't really hype up the show business part of it or anything like that. They show it as an enclave for criminality. And that's why this movie is so cool. Hero on DVD with the slipcase. High Fidelity on DVD. This is another purchase I made at Reckless Records in Chicago. So, this is an excellent movie about relationships from a guy's perspective and a music lover's perspective. And as an Illinoisan, John Cusack is kind of our guy. And in this film, he went to great lengths to showcase a lot of the important historical spots in Chicago. House Party on DVD. And this is another clasp case. So if you open it up, the art is right on the package. But I love this movie. A lot to say about this movie, but I'll just say I'm a big fan. Everyone kills it in this movie. Kid and Play kill it. Full Force kill it. Martin Lawrence kills it. So much fun. House Party. How to Train Your Dragon on DVD. The Hunger Games 2-disc DVD and digital copy, and this has the slipcase. The Hunger Games Catching Fire on Blu-ray, DVD, and digital, and this is Target exclusive, so you have the title on a separate package. Pretty cool. Good films, these first two. The Hunt for Red October DVD. Immortals on DVD. Inception on DVD, and this is one of my all-time favorite movies. Christopher Nolan film, and I was living in LA when this movie dropped. The acting and the story and the set design, cinematography, the pacing, the way the story has multiple layers, it really struck me. And while I was in LA, I was working at the University of Southern California, and I was mentoring Filipino kids with the USC Filipino Club, Troy, Philippines, which is still in existence today. And we made a remake of Inception and called it Inception with an SC for USC. And we even had a poster and promotional artwork, which I'll show here. Inception. Inside Man DVD, and this has the slipcover. This is also an Amoeba purchase out there in LA. Here's the back. And this is one of my favorite Spike Lee films. It's one of my favorite films, definitely. The way the story is laid out, the filmmaking is just so well done, and you know, Denzel Washington and Clive Owen and Jodie Foster, I mean, they all just bring their A game pretty much, as does Mr. Spike Lee. And yes, this cover is nice and embossed. Ooh, that's nice. Even these rivets. And I just watched this recently, and it looks great for a DVD. I mean, it looks spectacular. So, big fan of Inside Man. I love pretty much everything about this movie. You know what? This is my favorite Spike Lee movie. Well, it's either this or Do the Right Thing. But this is just so smooth. This movie plays so smooth. I remember watching this in the theater, and it was so much fun. Interstellar on Blu-ray DVD combo pack, digital combo pack, and I bought this at Best Buy, and this is very special because it has a collectible IMAX film cell inside. So first of all, this is the slipcase. And that's what that looks like. And let's go ahead and look at this. Here's the film cell right there. And let's take a closer look. Now, this scene right here, I don't know if you can see, but the main character, Matthew McConaughey's character, is communicating with his family via video message. And here is one of the scenes where he is reading, or pardon me, viewing the video message from Earth, from his family. So there's that, and there's the back. From an actual 70mm film print. So IMAX has different dimensions, and I remember seeing this in the theater, and it was just Very cool. Some people have mixed opinions on this movie, and that's fair enough. But I think it was an ambitious film, and I think they achieved what they wanted to achieve. So. Interstellar. Interview with the Vampire DVD, purchased at Amoeba in LA, and this is the clasp case DVD. So when we fold it out, this artwork is right on the case, and that's what that looks like. Interview with the Vampire. Iron Man DVD with the slipcase, and this is embossed title. And the slipcase is cool because here you have the mask and the nuclear reactor, and then you have Robert Downey Jr., or Tony Stark, and the nuclear reactor. And then on the back has this kind of original art too. That's the back of the slip cover. So when this dropped, it was a lot of fun, and we all did not know how far they would take the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but props to Jon Favreau. This movie is a lot of fun. Iron Man 3 on DVD. I really enjoyed this one. JFK on DVD, and this is a purchase from Amoeba in LA. And yeah, this is a cool movie. Oliver Stone. So this is the 2-disc special edition collector's set. Might as well take a look. You know, I gotta say, I liked DVD packaging better than Blu-ray packaging. They just went more all out. This is all very nice to the touch, very smooth, and all my collector's edition DVDs are like that. And now, with Blu-rays, I mean, the package is smaller, which I understand, but they do seem to strip it down a lot more. I mean, DVD packaging was a lot more fun. Lara Croft, Tomb Raider, on DVD. Logan, on Blu-ray, DVD, and digital, the combo pack. And this is the Target exclusive with a photo book. So firstly, there's this slip case, slip cover, and this package is so full that it's hard to take out. But this is, oh my gosh, it's worth it. So this comes with a couple different extras. It comes with, first of all, here's the back, and then here's the book, which is cool. But it comes with the movie, the Blu-ray and DVD, as it says right here. But it also comes with a black and white edition of Logan that they call Logan Noir, and these photos are really nice. So here's Logan Noir, and that is the feature film just done in black and white. And let's go ahead and just take a look at what this looks like. I think I did watch this once, so it looks like that. And then put these to the side. Here's the feature film right there, and then the DVD's in the back. But look at the photos. Well, there are quotes interspersed with the photos, but Yeah, they're nicely done. And I believe these were taken by the director. So we don't have to go through everything, but pretty awesome movie. A lot of people thought it was too dark and depressing, but I don't know if you read the Wolverine comics, but I thought it was pretty true to form. And I actually like all the Fox movies that where they handle the X-Men. I like them all. Logan. Okay, right now we're getting into the Lord of the Rings series, and this is the first one, The Fellowship of the Ring. This is a DVD set that I bought at Target way back in the day, and these are so nice. So I have the first 3 movies in these sets, this format, and these are so cool. They really go into the detail here, as you can see there. And this is just this really, I guess you could say, highly processed cardboard, because it's really smooth and, yeah. And then they have these inside, you know, scenes, which are very nice. Oops. And I even saved the inserts, which we'll put to the side. But there it is. And the only thing about these is that you have to flip the DVD if you want to watch the long version. But, yeah. Fellowship of the Ring. Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers. So these are very nicely done. Return of the King. Oh, with this one I think this is still on the back, but yes, this is the same format. And then another box set, The Matrix, the Ultimate Matrix Collection on DVD. And I purchased this at Go Hastings, which is a shop in Flagstaff, or used to be a shop in Flagstaff. But this is what is included: the Matrix trilogy, the Animatrix, and a lot of extras. Let's go ahead and take a look. So here's the first. Matrix Reloaded. The kung fu in the first 2 Matrix movies it's pretty on point. Let's look at this real quick. Animatrix. And The Matrix Experience. So this would be the extras. Okay. all kinds of stuff. I think I went through this once on a Christmas break. I just went through all these, and they're cool, yeah. I mean, you know, a lot of people like the first one and then they don't like the rest. I like it all. And, yeah, that's why I have it. The Ultimate Matrix. Minority Report 2-disc DVD set. I remember seeing this when it came out in the theater. And this is probably my favorite Steven Spielberg movie. What they do with the lighting and cinematography here is very cool. And this is based on a science fiction story by Philip K. Dick. And there's Spielberg. So this is pretty cool packaging. Minority Report. Fresh. Mother Night. Now, this is a film that not many people may be familiar with, but it's based on a Kurt Vonnegut story, and it stars Nick Nolte. It's not necessarily a big blockbuster film or anything. This right here is in the original clasp case. So, there's that. And as you can see, Nick Nolte is, well, the story is kind of complex, but yes, here he is portrayed as being a member of the Nazi SS. But it's not about, well, it's about World War II, and it's part espionage and part black comedy. So I'll say that. But Mother Night, based on a Vonnegut story. Princess Mononoke, Blu-ray, and this has the DVD as well. And I always enjoyed this one. Very well put together. I believe this is hand-drawn animation, and good message to the story as well. Pulp Fiction 2-disc DVD set, and this has very nice package artwork. So there's the back, and we'll take a look at this. Got Uma, John Travolta, Samuel L. And then you got a cool image behind here with Uma and Quentin Tarantino. Uma Thurman. It's pretty dope. And then here you have this book that's kind of a photo book, but also with some notes, and very comprehensive. And speaking of Jackrabbit Slims, they also have the Jackrabbit Slims menu. So, is the $5 shake on there? Yes, $5 shake. And there's the wolf, Harvey Keitel. And then on the back we have this collage. So, Bruce Willis and Marcellus Wallace. So, Pulp Fiction. I remember when this came out. I saw it in the theater, as I mentioned in the intro. And I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe what I was watching. It was very engaging. So yeah, this came out when I was in high school. Pulp Fiction. Raiders of the Lost Ark DVD. Ratatouille DVD. Reservoir Dogs DVD. When I saw this for the first time, the theatrical qualities of the movie really struck me. Rosemary's Baby on DVD. And this is a Roman Polanski film. Mia Farrow is really great here, and she's very pretty in this film. Scarface 2-disc anniversary edition DVD. And you know, this is a film that needs no introduction. Michelle Pfeiffer in this film is just so stunning. So there's that. And then there are some good bonus features on there. Sherlock Holmes DVD. Sicario Blu-ray, DVD, digital HD. And this is one of my all-time favorite movies. Emily Blunt just completely kills it in her role. I mean, she's really fantastic, and Josh Brolin is great, and Benicio del Toro is great. So this does come with the digital, and then, yeah, Emily Blunt there, and there. This movie is done so smoothly. Denis Villeneuve is just excellent director, really my kind of director. Not a second is wasted in this film. Every shot has purpose, so very cool. Sicario. Speed, slim DVD case, but still cool. And this came out when I was working at the movie theater, so I saw this many times for free. Thank you to the Carasodas family for providing your employees free films. Spectre Blu-ray with the slip cover. And I really enjoyed this movie. I know there are mixed reviews about it, but the opening shot alone is worth the purchase to me. The opening sequence is very nice, and I like the story too. I like the way this plays out. I think it's a good Bond film. The Spike Lee Joint Collection. Now this is a DVD set, and as I said, I'm a Spike Lee fan, so this includes Clockers, Jungle Fever, Do the Right Thing, Mo Better Blues, and Crooklyn. And all those movies are films that I enjoy. This is what it looks like on the inside. And there are some photos in there as well. Spider-Man 2 DVD with the slipcase. And this is one of my all-time favorite superhero films. Very well done, and I like this rendition of Spider-Man better than the Marvel Cinematic Universe rendition. And yeah, this was a lot of fun. I saw this multiple times in the theater. Saw this one in Zurich, Switzerland. Star Trek 2009. And this has a dope slipcase. So, I'm a big fan of Star Trek 2009. And then this came separately, and you have Spock. But the film is just so smooth. J.J. Abrams is such a great director, and very cool. Even the digital copy looks cool. So, Star Trek 2009. Blam. Star Wars. This is the original trilogy, and you can purchase this pretty much anywhere. This is the version that came out a couple years ago, and it is the special editions. And you know, I have my own opinion about that, but kind of have to own these if you're a Star Wars fan. And you do get some art here and credits, but it's cool. I like that these Blu-rays and DVD discs are in the trays with hubs, because they are stored more nicely. Star Wars Original Trilogy. And then we have my copy of The Last Jedi in 4K, Ultra HD. When this dropped, I had to get it. First of all, this is debossed here, the title, and I'm a big fan of Rey, and this cover art is pretty spectacular. You got Kylo Ren, and then when you open it, we'll look at that in a second, but just the outside alone is pretty awesome. And then you've got, you know, all the discs. Battle of Crate. Last Jedi. Star Wars on DVD. Pretty cool. Comes with this, I believe, let's take a look at this. This comes with a poster. Oh, it's been a while since I've seen this. But yeah, there's that. And then on the back there's this write-up. Very cool. PBS documentary about hip-hop culture in New York City in the 80s. And there are 2 discs. They're stacked. Not a big fan of that, but, you know. At least they packed it full of content. So this is what you got. And there's even some art on the back, which is kind of cool. So that is Star Wars. King of what? King of Style. Swingers on DVD. And when this dropped, I was in college, and it was very influential to my friends and I. We were calling everything money. So, props to John Farvo. This was kind of his big entrance on the big screen. My copy of Taxi Driver, and this is a DVD, but it's got awesome packaging. And the reason is because this translucent card comes off the side, and you can either have this side showing or this side showing on the front. So that's pretty cool. And the inside is very awesome as well. So the way this movie is put together is very striking because they shoot on location in New York City in the 1970s, and it's very raw, and it really shows New York, how it was depicted at that time, which is dangerous and kind of wild. My mom's side of the family immigrated to New York in the 70s, so yeah, just an ill city. Taxi Driver. So this is Terminator 2 on DVD. It's an extreme DVD, and this is in a metal case. So firstly, the embossing on here is pretty awesome. This is really metal, and every part of the Terminator's face is embossed here, so that's kind of cool. And then yeah, they just had this kind of packaging, and this is kind of a precursor to steelbooks before they came out with steelbooks. But underneath here is just a regular Terminator 2 DVD, and there are some interesting items in here. We got Arnold and some more promotional materials, but these are notes from the film. And when T2 dropped, you just couldn't get away from it, and the movie is very well done. When I was living in LA, I noticed a lot of places where they shot on location. They shot a lot in Glendale, California for this movie. So I would be going grocery shopping or something near where some of the motorcycle scenes were shot, and then the LA River is definitely featured prominently here. But yeah, Terminator 2, you kind of have to have it if you're an action movie fan. Transformers Dark of the Moon. I like the 1980s Transformers universe better, but as far as the modern movies go, this one is not bad. So I picked it up. True Grit on DVD, and this is a great Western. It's a remake of an older Western, but if you like Jeff Bridges or Western movies, it's great. And this whole cast here, the 4 actors pictured on the front, just do a tremendous job in this film. True Grit. Unbreakable. So I am an M. Night Shyamalan fan, and I even like a lot of the movies that people don't like, but this one is pretty universally liked. And I bought this when it came out, and This is the 2-disc DVD collector's set, so the packaging on here is pretty awesome. This is not hard to get at all. As a matter of fact, I just saw this at Best Buy recently, the DVD version, so I don't know. It was actually this exact version, so they must have plenty of stock of these. And this movie looks great, even on DVD. Still, it's very well put together movie. So, Unbreakable. Going like that or like this? Okay, like this. Boom. Unbreakable. The Usual Suspects on DVD. And when this came out, I was in college. Alfred Hitchcock's Vertigo on Blu-ray. One of my all-time favorite movies. So well done. San Francisco looks very, very beautiful in this film. And so does Muir Woods. Waking Life on DVD. Wall-E, 3-disc special edition DVD. Now this is very cool. It opens up like Wall-E opens up. That's the way to open up. These flaps don't slide out fully. This is the way that the package opens up. So that's kind of cool. And I remember watching this with my girlfriend in LA. And you know, back in the day, this was kind of our movie. Because, you know, it might be an animation, and it might be about robots, but there's a lot to relate to here. And I like Eva. There she is. Eva. Cool. And, yeah. The Pixar movies are mostly well done, so I believe I got this used, but for just having a copy of the movie, it's pretty neat. It's very neat. It's cool. There it is. Wall-E. The Witch DVD. And when this movie dropped, I tweeted at Anya Taylor-Joy about how great she was in it. And she liked my tweet right away. So props to Anya Taylor-Joy. She is very good in this. And the way this movie is directed and put together is quite impressive. So The Witch. Wolf of Wall Street DVD. I'll never forget seeing Margot Robbie first time on screen in this film. So I saw this in LA, and yeah, it's a good flick. The Wolverine Unleashed Extended Edition on Blu-ray. And if you haven't seen this, this is probably my favorite theatrical version of Wolverine, mainly because of the Japanese influence. This movie is heavily influenced by Japanese culture and style, and in the director's commentary they mention how the scenes in Tokyo were just shot on the street. They didn't they didn't close off any streets when they're running through Tokyo and even fighting. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, the Wolverine, and it's the extended edition. Wonder Woman on Blu-ray, DVD, and digital. This is the Target exclusive digibook. Wonder Woman is my favorite movie, and Gal Gadot is my favorite actress. And this packaging is very nice. So as you can see, I mean, she looks so beautiful there. And then you got a lot of detail in the photography. The way this book is put together is very nice. I have a couple of these Target books, and they're all pretty good. So, feels like a book. And there are the discs. And then there's this lovely photo book with storyboards and notes and quotes from Patty Jenkins. So I communicate with Eugene Braverock on Twitter, who is the actor who plays Chief in this film, and I think everyone that worked on this really did a great job. So I actually have doubles of this. This is sealed in my, comic book ways, keeping something sealed. So there's that. And this one is sealed too. Wonder Woman, the animated movie. And firstly, the embossing on here is very cool. So you have Ares and Wonder Woman embossed. And the reason I kept this sealed is because this comes with 3D collectible Wonder Woman art cards done by Jim Lee. And there's a Jim Lee Wonder Woman right there. And the cards are in there. So it's just something that is done in the collectors community. Sometimes you keep something sealed, so I have a couple movies that I like to keep sealed. I've seen the movie anyway. But yeah, Wonder Woman animated. The X-Men collection. Collector's set on Blu-ray and digital. And this has all the movies up until X-Men Apocalypse. And there's a set that's out now, and I think it is different. But this is the set that came out a few years ago, and it has this beautiful digibook that we'll take a look at here. So, I love these movies. I think Fox did a better job with superheroes than, well, I prefer the Fox movies to the Marvel movies, to be honest with you. But if you look at these, I mean, these are great. Look at these illustrations. The detail is really, intricate, and the printing is really good on these. So, and then of course all these movies are in my cloud movie library. And then at the end you have this nice group portrait of everyone that's been in these films. So X-Men 2, X2 X-Men, X2 X-Men United, that's my jam. X-Men 2, X2. Oh, it's so good. That's my favorite out of here. But they're all good, actually. So yeah, I love this. This is good stuff to have. X-Men collection. And then I just happen to have X-Men First Class, which I bought before I bought that on DVD. So, to wrap up today's episode, I would like to read an excerpt from California by Kevin Starr. When I was a grad student at USC, we studied this text, and it gave me great insight into the history of the Golden State. In this context, the overall success of the aircraft industry in Southern California during these war years is all the more remarkable. This period saw the creation of an industrial culture that represented a great leap forward for American labor, for women, and for efficient and socially responsible management. Even more than at the shipyards, women came into the aviation workforce, taking their place on the line at one or another of the 3 8-hour shifts at Douglas, Lockheed, Vega, Northrop, North American, or Convair. What is particularly impressive is not only the extraordinary production of warplanes, but the social sophistication of aviation culture. The pooled transportation programs, the daycare centers for children, the growing equality of women on the line and in middle management. The support services, medical care, food service, the cafeteria at Lockheed served a well-prepared lunch each day to 6,000 workers at nominal cost. The banking and postal outlets, the social programs including big band dances and concerts, integrated into factory culture. An entire generation of women came into new identities as they mastered the intricacies of airplane manufacture and, starting around 1944, assumed supervisory positions. By the end of the war, young and attractive aircraft workers such as Norma Jean Baker Doherty, soon to be better known as Marilyn Monroe, had been granted, almost en masse, scarlet status, in contrast to the more robust Rosie the Riveter image of women workers in the shipyards. Aviation production had a kind of glamour. Indeed, the parallel between the aircraft factories and the film studios was frequently cited.